Hi, I'm Jessie. I'm gonna make a spoon ring. I've been making them for a very short amount of time, so I'm still learning. One of my friends who has man hands, she has requested me to make her one. Her hands are a size, or her fingers are like a size between a 10 and 11, so I'm shooting for a 10 and a half. This is my ring bender tool that I use. I ordered it actually used on Marketplace. I looked it up online, read all the reviews. It all seemed really good, so I thought, hey, I'll give it a try. This is my sizer rings that I use. So I found a 10 and a half, and this is a 20. This is the post, and this is called a die. These are both size 20, which I don't know how they line up with all these, but I just took the ring, the size that I wanted, and kind of lined it up over this. So a 20 is what I'm going with today. I have to tighten it up so it doesn't slip while I am trying to bend the spoon. They give you a tiny little Allen wrench. Okay, I make sure everything's super tight so it doesn't slip on me. This is a spoon that I'm going to be using. Not sure if you can see that. It's very unique. It says Stratford Silver Co. I don't know, it's very tarnished. I have this tarnish remover. You can do this after you bend it or before. I like to do it before because once it's bent, some of the pieces that line together, you won't be able to get in that curry or that crack. My husband's coming to run my video.
What are you doing?
Shooting a video.
Oh, well, your food's here. I mean, I went and cooked you a gourmet 5-course dinner. It's inside.
Sure. So that is nice and clean now. Almost too clean. I don't know if I like the look of super shiny. I have these bolt cutters. These are actually the smallest ones that I could find. They're called this, what is it? 12-inch. I don't really measure yet. Since she wants like a bigger size, like 10 and a half to 11, I'm just gonna cut really big size. And then I will start bending it. I like to use a thick cloth, and I lay it between my die and my post so that it doesn't scratch or dent the spoon. And of course you lay it to where you know it's gonna bend the correct way. I start bending the thick part first. And I just do a little bit at a time. And honestly, I'm good at eyeballing it to know when I start getting closer to the size that I want, to know how much to cut off. Because I know this is gonna be way too much. Because I want hers to just barely overlap. I don't want a swirly one that goes, you know, goes around itself more than once. So, let me look. I think I'm gonna cut it right there. These bolt cutters are awesome. You barely have to push, and it just snaps it. Super easy. This part's gonna be loud because I'm gonna use this grinder to take away any of the sharp edges. Of course, putting on and off a ring, you don't wanna slice your finger. So I will turn this on, and I will turn the sound down on this video. So right now it's kind of hot because it's on a stone grinder. But it seems like, oh yeah, that's nice and smooth. I even took a little bit off the top more because when this lays over, it's gonna make a nice, how they come together just nicely and not be too thick in one area. So now I'll stick it back on here and start bending a little bit more. And since it's metal on metal with the post and the die, you might have to move your rag, even though this is a thick, I think it's like 2 or 3, I got a 3-layer rag right here. I move it around because it starts eating holes through it. Metal on metal on metal, they tend to eat through each other. So I just play around with it, moving it around as I work it into its position that I want it. I also flip it over, do the same thing as I'm pulling it all together. And then I have this hammer, which is rubber and then I think nylon on one side. Because when they start coming together, sometimes they're a little cockeyed. To straighten them out, I pull it tight so that it's not going to jump around, and then I'll hit whichever edge needs to be adjusted. See how the rag gets eaten up a little bit? Okay, now I have it lined up pretty well where they're gonna come together. That's where the size 20 is. And right now on my ring sizer, it's gonna show me that this comes down to about 11.5. So obviously that's still too big. This tool, I don't know what the heck it's called, but I like it because I can lay my rag down like this and I can just kind of play with it to either make it smaller or make it bigger. Right now I'm gonna just try and tighten it up a little bit, and then if it ends up being too tight, it's much easier to make it bigger. So right now I'm just gonna play with the size until I get the size that I want. And I'll show you when I'm done. So I've gotten them to overlap just a little bit because I want to close that gap right there. Me personally, I hate when the gap is open because when you're touching your hair or your clothes, you don't want it to snag and get stuck and start pulling on things. So I'm going to keep making my rounds on this because as you can see, it's not perfectly round because I had to close that gap, but now I need to go all the way around it to get that round form back. And I don't know if it matters which side you use of this. That looks pretty nice and round to me. And I check my size again. We are at a hair shy of an 11. So honestly, I'm sure she would be pretty happy with that. I, however, want to close this a little bit more. So I'm gonna work on it just a little bit more. Let's check that size. needs to be rounded a little more. Oof, right at 10.5. I am happy with that. During all that pounding and stuff, it went a little sideways, so I'm gonna stick it back on here if it'll fit. No, I'm gonna have to change this size. It's at a 20 right now. There's my little Allen wrench. I'll go down a size, and this is only gonna be just to hold the ring in place while I move the piece that is out of alignment. So each die and post has corresponding numbers on them. So I'm just gonna throw an 18 and an 18 on here, just because I don't want it to bend. I want them just to fit nice and snug. Safety glasses. When you're working with metal or any little tiny fibers, oh my gosh, please wear safety glasses. Okay, 18 is in. Now I don't want to bend the ring anymore as far as sizing. I just want to move, that's my dog. Spud, you're so dirty. I just want to move how this lines up, just a hair over. So I'm gonna set it right on there. I need my hammer. And I'm only gonna pull tight enough so that it'll hold it for me while I tap on it. Now that's not tapping where I want, so I'm gonna flip it. Okay. Oof, I love it. Okay. There is my beautiful friend Katie's beautiful spoon ring. I'm gonna shine it up and make sure all the edges are nice and smooth. Her man hands will hopefully it'll fit nicely on them. So thanks for watching. I will add some of the products that I use in the link below as far as my Tarnex and maybe my bending tool. Let's see, anything else that I can think of, I will add in the link below. You can click and follow, and thanks for watching. It all feels nice and smooth and super shiny.